We can start, right? In 1 minute. Henry, it doesn't look like the right channel because you've shared my broadcast on YouTube and not. You've not chosen the right. You're on it, Henry?
I'm fixing.
Want me to check or?
No, you didn't.
Basically, I had a notification for channel my broadcast, and it should be Windmill Weekly, right?
Yeah, I told you I fixed it.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's start then. Dieriba, if you want to.
I will invite him. Yeah.
Cool. Welcome everyone. I think we're gonna just wait a few minutes and then we'll start. So just for anyone joining now, we're gonna wait just a few minutes for everyone to have time to join, and then we'll start right away. It's a short week. I guess it's a weekly with less people this week because yeah, Abel is off, and yeah. So give us a few minutes, and we'll start right away. Cool. I guess we can start. Myself on my side, I don't have anything to show. It's been a very busy week for us commercially. Lots of back and forth with customers, which is great for a Windmill. That doesn't leave a lot of time for coding. So I can just share that the company is doing pretty well, and we just have like growth issues, I guess. But yeah, everything going well. I think I'll directly leave it to Alex to show some interesting improvement on GitSync, or maybe you had something else you wanted to share. And as a reminder, at the end of the session, we'll take questions and feedback, and will be a good time to basically share anything you want to share about Windmill.
Cool. Yeah, so I wasn't able to fully get to the state where I have like a fully working demo with GitSync, but I improved from what we had last week, where now instead of using basically a Git personal access token, you will be able in your workspace settings to generate like an install link for a GitHub app. And this will then install the app into your repositories, or basically into your GitHub account or organization. And then you will be able to seamlessly use this in your GitSync settings. And you won't have to manually create access tokens or even manually create the GitHub resource. So the goal is to really automate also the creation of the resource. And this is where currently I am in my development. So I have done the whole installation thing, and now I have to work on creating the resources automatically given the installation. So that should be probably done, I think, today or maybe early next week. Other than that, I think I share Ruben's sentiment. There's a lot of customer interactions going on, which is a good sign. But yeah, also a lot of interrupts.
Yeah. I mean, to give a bit of context on what you're doing, we have most customers using GitSync, and it works. But it just, we think we can really improve the UX of it. In general, it's a little bit too complex, and we just want to make everything smooth and intuitive. I think the fact that you have to create a personal access token is not great for GitHub because they expired. It's also personal. So we're making it a GitHub apps for context. And so it's something that will be a lot more like integrated. And we have some other improvements planned for GitSync, where right now it's basically they assume you've already initialized a repo, but that's something we can also do on Windmill side. So there's a lot that we can improve on GitSync. It all work, but it's too complex, and so a lot of the cycle is going to be spent on really improving every part of it. Yeah, it's part of the overall cycle of also improving local development. We do have a lot of users doing local development. GitSync is a good big part of it. And so, yeah, you can expect to see a lot of improvements planned for this quarter.
Cool. And I guess next I'll medium ash through my screen. So I'll.
Okay, I hope you can all hear me. So this week I'll be presenting you a new language we integrate in Windmill. It is called Nushell. It is originally a shell like Bash or a ZSH, but it also has a programming language which is called Nu, and which is implemented. So let's get to the demo. This is a usual Windmill. You open a script, scroll to the bottom, select Nu, and here's the init script. You can run, and it prints. It works. Nice. So it has nice parsing. So it has records, lists, tables in some kind of it. It has binary. It has date time somewhere. Here it is. And yeah, it is pretty working parser, and you can use it for daily usage. It also supports getting variables. The cool things is the new shell script itself, a language itself. So here you have every data is typed. So for example, here you list the directory, and you say where the size of the file is larger than 1 kilobyte, sorted by modified, and just print it. And here you can fetch HTTP resource, and it will return originally JSON, which will Nushell automatically convert to records, which you can start working with straight from the fetch. So here, this link will return JSON, and we just straight get the license and return it over here in license. And you can see this is a JSON, which is pretty cool. So I think Nushell is a really nice language that could potentially replace Bash for some users, and I think this is really fun to play with for many users. So I invite you to try it out next week when we probably will get released it. And if you're interested in this more, you can already go to nushell.sh and learn more about this language. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it for me.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks
it's
for
gonna.
Alex for being medium.
I think it's right now the only way to have an improved bash was to basically use bun, because bun has a good way to also execute commands. But it's kind of, if you're not a TypeScript expert, it's not as convenient as Nushell for people that are familiar with the shell syntax. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very great addition to our languages. Hugo, maybe you want to showcase next thing?
Yeah, I have a small thing to show. Let me share my screen. All right, can you see it? Yeah. Okay. So we've added a bunch of new models to our Windmill AI feature. So before we just had OpenAI, Anthropic, and Mistral. And now we added a bunch. So we had DeepSeek, Google AI, with Gemini, Grok, and OpenRouter. And we also added a custom AI tab. So this is only for our enterprise customers, but you can now basically have a custom resource with a custom base URL and API key if you need. Just choose the model you want and then save. And now you can just run it. You see here the model, and then it will basically use it. So right now I'm running Olama in my local on my local machine, and we see that it's working well. This is just a local issue, but it's not like a real problem. That's basically it. It's part of our ongoing effort to basically add more AI features to Windmill. We're going to be able to show a bunch of new things, I hope, next week. But stay in touch to see what we have up. I don't know who's next. Maybe Dieriba?
And while Dieriba is talking, I guess we can also say that we have a lot of AI features, very exciting AI features in the work. So stay tuned. I'm not going to do the reveal now, but I think what we'll be able to show in the next weeks is going to be very,
Can you hear me?
very cool. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. So I'm going to show a new trigger implementation. This time, this is for MQTT. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this time there is a new features for trigger. This time is MQTT, and so it's like another trigger like Kafka, which this time you connect to a broker following the MQTT protocol, and you can trigger script based on some event you received. There is already a trigger that is running, but I'm going to delete it. So to show you how to do it, you have to choose a script like usual, and you choose a resource. And this resource needs a host of the broker, a password if you need, and a username, the port where the broker is running, and a certificate if you need TLS connection. I choose a public broker, which is HiveMQ, and took its host and its port. You can see right there. Saving. And you have to add topic, which allow you to subscribe to certain events. I will add a new topic like Windmill Office. And this is the level of quality of the service, meaning that each message you're going to receive, the response you're going to give back to the broker. And you can add many topic if you want, and choose specific parameters. By default, you're running on version 5, which is the latest one. So I'm going to save it, waiting it for to running. Okay, so I'm going to the runs page. Like you can see it, but I'm going to run a program which basically send a new event to the broker. So you can see, you're going to see it right there, new event login. These are the new scripts, and you can see the data that have been sent. By default, all the MQTT is data agnostic, meaning all data is being in bytes, and you have to decode it in whatever you want. So you have to choose it, and you can send you can send properties with the message, so you know what data it was sent. On my side, I said that it was text, so I can interpret this byte as href with a string and do whatever I want. Or you can put JSON and see. That's all.
Yeah, super cool. I think MQTT was a very demanded integration, so a lot of people are going to be very happy about this. And it complete our cycle on adding every major PubSub and event producers to Windmill, so that it's just so it's easier to just have Windmill be connected to all your systems out of the box. If there is any improvements you'd like to see on those triggers, feel free to share it with us. Yeah, otherwise we'll take questions and feedback now, if there are any. And yeah.
On YouTube, they are just telling that they are happy with Windmill. So nothing to add.
Cool. Yeah, and also we were showcased on, well, very briefly on a very popular French podcast of MeCode, and so we had I received a lot of messages about it. So, but yeah, we'll only speak to French speakers. We'll wait a few minutes for the questions. Yeah, for the code base and bundles, no, I don't have any ETA for it. It's the reason why it's not CE is mostly because it's tightly integrated with S3, which we now basically have everything around the S3 at the instance level is basically an enterprise feature. We have to decorrelate those a bit, and it takes a lot of time. It's not just a simple switch to change. So, but once we get to it, we'll probably make it CE as soon as it's technically easy. Well, if there are no other questions, then everyone have a great weekend, and yeah, see you next week.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Right.